that.
Hello, I'm David DeCosmo. Welcome to ECTV Live. I'm joined by my co-host, Rusty Fender. Rusty,
Good to see you mobile again, David.
Well,
semi-mobile.
Semi-mobile. But I wanted to make sure I had my cane today just in case I have to audition. Now,
this is right up your alley, pal.
The reason I say that is our guest today is Lori Fleming, and she is Director of Active Older Adult Activities at the United Neighborhood Centers in Lackawanna County.
It's quite a title.
It is, and it brings up a separate question. When did I go from becoming a senior citizen to an active older adult?
We just like that. It has a better connotation,
Okay.
more
It sure
positive,
does.
active older adults.
It is a change,
than
though.
a senior.
But you don't get the 10% at the fast food places, though, if you say this. It's only seniors that get the
We're
discount.
working on it, Rusty. We're working on
We've got to
it.
get that changed. Well, Lori's got a whole lot of programs that are operational at these centers, and we want to talk about a couple of them. But the one we want to feature right now is something that just started a few years ago, and it's a program called Seniors Got Talent. And Lori, we better go back to the beginning, how we came up with, how it all got started, and what it's all about.
Well, this is our 5th year. We started 5 years ago. We started a very small. We decided we needed something to generate funds to help support all the programs that we do at United Neighborhood Centers. So we decided that Seniors Got Talent would be a lot of fun, because I know there's a lot of seniors out there that have talent and they don't get to practice that craft anymore. So we came up with this. We had it at the west side, then it was a senior center. It was jam-packed with people. It was non-air conditioning. It was hot in there, and I had cold called Evie Rafalco McNulty and asked her to be my MC. I didn't know her. She said yes. After the event, she said, we have something here. We need to move this. So we moved it to the theater at Lackawanna College, and now this year we are going to the theater at North to have it.
But you know, it's a winning situation. We're in the YouTube generation. Everybody's a star. You have a child eating apple pie that gets the pie in his face. It's got 12 million likes in an hour, and they're on Entertainment Tonight in the Today Show. So everybody's a star. Everybody loves something like this where you can self-participate.
But, you know, when you don't practice it on a regular basis, I would think thered be a hesitation when someone comes to you and, in essence, says, we're going to have a talent show. Do you want to be part of a talent show? And that's, with show number 1, what you had to do. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the audience loved it once you got it going. But what about those seniors? How fast were they to jump up and say, hey, I'd like to do this?
This year we had auditions and we had cuts, because we could not accommodate all the people that wanted to participate in the event.
Just goes to show you. Yeah.
Yep.
Very popular.
This year we're having 10 acts. The 10 acts are vying for the first prize of $500.
Oh, so there's a reward in for the top act.
There's $500 for the first, $300 for the second, $200 for the third. We also have an honorable mention, and this year, new for us, we're having an audience award. We thought we'd get the audience participating in this.
What is that?
After the first act, when they're all done, we're going to have boxes up on the stages, and you get to vote for your favorite act. And how you're going to do that is vote by stuffing the box with some dollar bills or $20 bills or $50 bills, and then UNC will keep that money. And whatever act collects the most money, that act will be the audience award winner.
Oh, that's great.
Well, we decided to do that because sometimes somebody will say, oh, why didn't Rusty win? I liked Rusty, and maybe Dave won. So this way it gives them the opportunity to participate as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, you do have I guess a wide variety of this takes me back. I remember the old Feely Theater in Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Well, they're doing vaudeville-like acts at the time.
Well, they actually brought back vaudeville in 1963, I believe it was.
Sure.
And they brought back vaudeville acts because acts were still available. Initially, a great turnout, but then it died rather quickly because you had so much competition from television at that time. But in essence, the show is kind of like an old vaudeville show because you've got a variety of acts. It's not just people. You have singers, you have good singers, but it's not just singers.
No, it's not. You have to be 55 or older to participate in it. We have ranges from 60 to 92 participating in the event on Sunday.
Wow.
April the 2nd is the event. We have singers, we have dramatic readers, we have a group of line dancers, we have comedians, we have people playing harmonicas. So we have a person playing an accordion this year, and she's going to be playing Rhapsody in Blue on accordion.
Gershwin,
and
how
I
about
want to
that?
tell you, when I first heard, I was like, okay, she's fantastic.
Get
so
out.
you'll be surprised. I think
Cosmo's a thespian. Is there still a spot for him to read? He's an actor.
there you go. But he has a cane. We're going to dance. Him and Roy are going to dance.
I have the
stand
cane.
there and
I
read.
have the cane. I get a straw hat. I have a harmonica.
There you
And
go.
I certainly passed the 55 test.
Really, can we get one more person on that?
Well, I will tell you where you would fit in. The second half of our acts is going to be local celebrities, and that will be entertaining the crowd while the judges are in the back deliberating over the winners. So we have quite a few we have about 5 or 6 local celebrities that are going to entertain during the second half. So that could be where you would
go,
fit,
Dave.
Dave.
But now you've got the 10 senior acts that appear. That's pretty much because of timing of things. You can't just have
Correct.
20 and 30
Correct.
people because you'd be there all night
Yeah,
long.
right.
Correct.
Less is more.
We like to
Yeah.
keep it about 2 hours
Yeah.
and 15 minutes. And I will tell you, this year we added Tony Nicosia, who used to be with
Right.
the Broadway Theater
Yes.
League. He has come on as a volunteer, and what he is doing is he met with each act and helped them to polish their act or give them a few little ideas on how to, take it up to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also orchestrated the second half of getting people in for our celebrity acts.
When you started this, were you at all surprised by the caliber of talent that turned out?
Yes, and I was going to mention that, and I will tell you, yes, it was homegrown. We had people, I was like, this is something we have here, because there's a lot of talent out there. And there's one gentleman who participates, and he said, I'll probably never win, but he said, I will do this every year because it gives me a chance to practice my craft. And he doesn't have that opportunity. They're on a Broadway stage, down at the theater at North. They have that opportunity. Last year we had over 400. We hope to break the 600 mark. So it's a great afternoon.
Do you have any clunkers in the mix there too?
No.
I say that because the Gong Show, one of the most popular shows back in the 1970s, was on for 8 years with Chuck Berry, with
Yeah.
Chuck Barris, excuse me,
Yeah,
Chuck
Barris,
Barris.
right.
It's like, the clunkers were more popular than the actual people who could sing and dance. So, the clunkers are more entertaining sometimes than the person up there reading poetry.
We have no clunkers.
No.
We have all
Well,
stars.
if they had to audition,
They had to
and you have a panel of judges just for the auditions, I'm gathering.
A different one than is going to be the judges for the actual event, yes.
Right.
Yeah, so that way there's no bias
That's
there.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, well, let's point out again that the date is Sunday, April the 2nd. The show goes on at 2 p.m. This is at Theater at North, which many of you remember as the former North Scranton Junior High School up there on the hill, and for years and years it kind of sat needing to be rehabilitated, and finally it got done. And I guess what
Beautifully.
they've done,
It
they,
is.
they
Yeah.
preserved the auditorium.
Yes, they did. Yes,
of
they
the
did.
theater.
Yes.
Similar to what they did at the old Hazelton High School, the castle, which is nice
Yes, the
because
castle.
not all communities have the facilities that are available in an
You're
area
right.
like this, and it's
Right.
great you've got it. Plus, you've got the seating there.
We do.
That can handle all the people you want. Now, for those who are watching, who might want to come and see the show, what do they have to? Are the tickets available? How do they get them?
Yes, tickets are $10 in advance. You can get it by going to our website, which is www.uncnepa.org. You can order online. If that's not how you would like to get your tickets, you can call at 570-346-0759 and get tickets that way. We'll keep them at a will call for you. Or you can purchase them at any of our 4 active older adult community centers, which we have one in South Scranton, one in West Scranton, one in Jessup, Mid-Valley, and one in Carbondale.
Right.
Or if that doesn't, then they're $15 at the door that day.
All right, and of course, there's nothing like being there and seeing the talent perform. I will point out to you that after these shows have been done live, that we will have, you'll be able to see them right here on Electric City Television. But you go when you can see it live. It's just unbeatable. The money from those tickets, the money from the audience participation of voting, all goes to support these active older programs at these centers. What kind of programs are we talking about? What kind of programs are offered to those people that I still just call senior citizens that are turning out?
Well, we have a variety of programs, and right now we're faced with, there are two certain groups that are what we call seniors or active older adults. They're the ones that come during the day. Those are what we might consider the senior citizen. They come for socialization, they get a hot meal, we do screenings at each center, we do programs, we have...
Let me interrupt 1 second.
Sure.
You're hitting something that's really key here. A lot of people look at those centers, be they here in Lackawanna County, Luzerne, wherever you are. The centers are all over the place. But they look at them as places to go and get lunch. And that's true. Mm-hmm. They're available, and they're crafted by these people that put the meals together for healthy meals and things. But you've got to understand that there's a lot more than that at these centers, and that's what I want you to bring out. That's what you're touching on, that it's not just a place to come and have a meal.
To me, I think the biggest medicine besides the meal at these centers is socialization, just being together. We're very independent at these centers. We're very active at our centers. Then we have that group that's coming during the day and doing those activities. Then what we do, we're trying to have activities that meet the needs of the boomers that are here. The boomers are now becoming these active older adults. So we have to have activities in the evening for them because
they're more of an evening crowd. So
well, for a variety of reasons. They're still working. Many have to work, or they're taking care of grandchildren, or they may be even taking care of an older parent than themselves, even though they are a boomer as well. So they have different needs and different wants.
Two different categories, totally.
They are, and so we have to have programming, and this is new for us. All in the senior world, to have these activities for these boomers is new. What do they want? When will they come for things? But they need things because this age group is big, and we all know that. You hear that in the news all the time.
A lot of folks have no one due to the loss of a spouse.
Correct.
At that age as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Friends have passed on sometimes.
Exactly, yeah.
Again, that's a place to come, and I suppose that there are games they can play. You talk about that daytime crowd, for instance.
Correct.
I know that there's lectures
Yep.
that are available, and I guess you try to hit subjects that obviously appeal to that audience.
Sure. What the managers do, they look at like, okay, what's April? What's the month of whatever it is? And we try to get appropriate speakers or screenings. If it's, colorectal month, you'll get somebody coming in to speak about that, which was just March. So the managers try to do that, to have fun activities, to have meaningful activities. So we do that. But then in the evening, again, it's a whole different. They want exercise. So they want Tai Chi and yoga. They want things that will help them age
gracefully.
Thank you. Yes, gracefully. And what are they going to do? They're going to retire now. So what are you going to do? Community engagement. Are you going to volunteer? It's amazing how some who are boomers will volunteer during the day at a senior center because they don't consider themselves a senior.
How about that?
Yeah,
good point.
Yeah. So that's why we have different activities to meet their different needs.
Did this sort of hit you suddenly that there was the clash, these two groups?
I've been going to conferences for the last couple years, and that's the whole theme is boomers are coming. What are we going to do with them? How are we going to service these boomers? Because I think you and I were having the conversation, what a senior who comes during the day likes to eat, the new boomer doesn't. They'll eat the quinoa salad, the wheat pasta. If I try to give wheat pasta to them during the day, they're like, what is this? Because they don't eat
Absolutely.
that. They like the meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
I'm with them on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's even the meal issue.
Do you actually craft, or have you crafted these programs by polling the people that come, or how do you do that?
Well, some of them I picked up when we were at the conferences, and there's one's called Aging Mastery Program, which we were going to offer in the spring. What that is 10 sessions, an hour and a half, and we're going to hold them in the evening. These 10 sessions, we bring in expert speakers to come in to talk about things that will help them master their aging. Maybe a financial person, somebody for sleep, somebody for balance, somebody for exercise, somebody for community engagement. As I mentioned, you're going to retire. What are you going to do now? So it's 10 sessions to help you master your aging.
Well, I think, Lori, too, you get a lot more bang for the buck here instead of, with this concept, instead of just setting up a folding card table at your local church or mall. So I think
Correct.
Exponentially more bang for your buck.
Correct. And then you and I were speaking about earlier, the next part of this is caregivers. There's so many caregivers out there because everybody's aging and they need people to take care of them, whether it's family members or if it's an outside agency. So we're also going to do a program, it's called the Caregiver Coaches, where we're going to train caregivers to be mentors for other caregivers. And I was using myself as an example. I cared for my parents. They have since passed away. So through my sisters and I doing it, we learned a little tricks of the trade that then we can share with you if you're starting to now care for a loved one.
And one day a week I care for a 19-month-old grandson.
There you go. So, and this is also because we were talking about people aren't getting married as much, and they're not having as many children or children, period. So who's going to care for these people that are out there? So it's going to be a whole community caring for each other.
Yeah, you've got a whole lot of things that are clashing. You've got the two groups you're talking about, and then the social changes that are coming along. You know, when we were younger, Mom was always at home.
Oh gosh,
Dad worked.
absolutely. Dad had a great job. Mom was home.
I mean,
dinner was on the table at 6 o'clock every night. That's unheard of now.
Meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
Yeah, well, I'll take the not the mashed potatoes, but the meatloaf maybe.
I would say that most families now, both parents have to work.
Correct.
So you've got a situation where children have to find care somewhere, and then conversely, as you say, their parents, they're raising kids, but they may have to care for their parents as well.
And those parents are sometimes living in the same household.
Yeah.
It's grandparents, parents, and children all living together.
Now, do the centers offer, a show like Seniors Got Talent is all entertainment, you know, it's all fun and entertainment. Do the centers offer entertainment in addition to the, you know, the lecture type thing and the meals we're talking about?
Is that how you got that boot on your foot, maybe from the Foxtrot competition, was for the auditions for this? Or?
No, I'll tell all my older adults I kicked my husband very hard, and that's what happened. Yes, as a matter of fact, like Wednesday, because of the snowstorm last week, they're all having their St. Patrick's Day parties. So people come in to entertain them. We dance. We have a great time. It really, really is not. Yeah, people have to get out of that concept of what a senior center is. It's not there. You're not coming to whittle away the years that you have left.
all day. Yeah, it's nothing like that.
I make it very active, as do all the managers. We have the managers work very hard at the centers to do that. They're very independent there.
What did you do before this? Were you in the human care industry before this?
Well, I did social services, yes.
Thought so,
yes,
yeah. Some kind of tie-in.
And then
with
really, after taking care of my parents, I decided the older adult world was where my strength was.
It's tough. I did the
So
same thing, and I
there.
worked out of town, being an only child. You know,
Yeah.
I had no brothers or sisters, so if people don't think about that, because you're certainly in the minority, but there's a lot to be said for people who have to do what
Correct.
we've done.
And I'll tell you the other nice aspect when we were doing all, the funds that go here, we have a social worker that's at each center 1 day a week. And it's great because they can come to help them fill out forms or to ask them, I think my wife, needs to go into nursing care. What do I do? And she helps them. It is such a value to have that. And that's unique to have a social worker at the centers 1 day a week to help
Right.
them. Like the rent rebate was just there, and she helped everybody fill out those forms.
Is it tough to get somebody started coming to the centers?
Yes, it is, because they have such a misconception sometimes of what is going to happen there. So I always tell, like if a child would call in for their parent, I say, bring them one time, pick a meal that they would like, leave them, do not stay with them, and next thing you know, they will be coming back. Or you get the one who lost their spouse, and it's hard for, but once they start coming, you see them engaging in all of the activities. It's just wonderful.
I guess was it that initial step of maybe admitting that, yes, I've hit the senior status, I've hit the active older status, and maybe there's the difference in your nomenclature between senior and active older adult, because retirement does not mean stopping anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't mean death. And you're right about you can't stay with them because that defeats the purpose of having them there. It's not like a drop-off point, but you can't hang around there for the duration of the day either.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always say we're not a nursing home, we're not adult daycare. This is really independent for somebody to come and have some activity, some stimulation, some engagement. you may not know this, but every center has a council, just like a city council, a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer.
I did not know
They
that.
do that.
All
There's
right.
voting. There are elections. It's a 15 council. They make the
about that?
decisions
Never knew that.
with the guidance of the manager and our rules and regulations from the county area agency on aging. But they write the checks. Like if they want a new coffee maker, they get the funds for it. They decide when to buy it, how to buy it, and they have voting, and like the manager writes no check. So it's really a great place to also volunteer.
I guess Seniors Got Talent is you got the hook now. The first couple of years are beside you, behind you now. So I guess this looks good for the future now that you're getting more and more people for this. That's a good thing, because some things just don't take off.
No, we're trying something new. As I was saying, this is our first year to have acts that are competing for the $500 along with local celebrity acts as well. And we always have a panel of celebrity judges, and we have an MC that, well, again, I said it was Evie Rafalco McNulty as our MC again. So we do that, and it's really, I have to say, a really enjoyable afternoon. It's for all ages. You don't have to be a senior just to come. I give the example, I have 23-year-old twin boys, and they came and they were like, wow, this was pretty good, Mom. So I think you need to come and see it once, and then you'll be hooked.
Gets the seal of approval from a
It does.
23-year-old.
Yeah. And now, are you seeing a great more people turning out, whether it be to the afternoon sessions or to the evening sessions? Are the, in terms of daily usage, are more and more people starting to take advantage of these centers?
Yes, and what we've also done, which has helped, we have a menu where we offer 2 different choices for your meal. You can have the hot lunch, or you can have what we consider a lighter fare. So that is also bringing people in, because some people just didn't want to come for that hot meal. They wanted the lighter fare, which is great. Now they have that option. They can choose every day between 2 different meals.
That's like a salad and some soup and something lighter
Exactly,
like that, right?
a sandwich, a Caesar salad with
I
chicken,
see.
soup and sandwich.
I see.
Yes.
Now, the programs that you offer and the things you do, and they're very impressive, and we've heard a laundry list of some of them here, but they don't all happen for free. There's costs involved. One of the reasons you have Seniors Got Talent is to bring some money in from outside normal funding sources. How restricted are you as far as ability to finance the things you want to do?
Well, like every other social service agency, you make it happen. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? So we are a United Way agency as well. Our meal reimbursement is from the Lackawanna County Area Agency on Aging, so we do have those too. I will also tell you, those that come to the centers are very committed. So we have little fundraisers that go on that they also participate in as well.
Now, you must be aware that there's a lot of talk from a federal level about budget cuts. And some of those cuts could affect things such as programs like Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
I would assume some federal funding must come through, even if it's channeled through the state, to the senior centers too. Are you concerned at all about the?
Oh, sure. And we're very fortunate. We've been getting some grants as far as the state level, which we rely on grants very much, and our sponsors who will sponsor things.
But you
as
got a good
well.
attitude, because if you didn't think you were going to make it, nothing would ever get done.
You're absolutely right. No, I really enjoy what I do, and I believe in what we do. And
I can
think
see that.
Yeah.
I think there is room for growth and opportunity with all of these new boomers coming in as well.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, obviously, you're on a program like ours today to talk about Seniors Got Talent, and we're bringing out during our conversation some of these other programs. Are you using other means to reach out to people who are not taking advantage of the centers to say, hey, we're here, come on in?
We try. We go to high rises. We do presentation, word of mouth. You go to churches.
Do social media?
Yes, we're into
that's
social
good, yeah.
social media, and that's where those boomers come in.
No doubt.
Because
Yes,
those coming
yeah.
during the day necessarily aren't
Absolutely.
on social media where
Sure.
they don't have internet at their
Sure.
Yeah.
apartments
A
and
lot
stuff.
of older folks don't
But
have
yes,
access to a computer.
Correct. And I'll tell you, at our centers now, we have iPads. We have an iPad program where they can do iPads. Do you know, one of the seniors, he got a Facebook page, and he's communicating with his grandson. How wonderful is
Excellent,
that?
excellent, sure.
Yeah.
That's what it's
That's a
for.
winner.
Yep.
That's a winner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of winners, we're primarily talking about Seniors Got Talent, and it's going to be Sunday, April the 2nd, 2 p.m., Theater at North, which is the former North Scranton Junior High School. So maybe we can do a little recap here about what you're expecting in terms of, first of all, there'll be 2 sections to the program this year.
Correct. There'll be, in the beginning, is 10 acts competing for the 500, 300, 200, and honorable mention and audience award.
I forgot the money, maybe.
That's I tell you, where's that cane,
Where's
David?
my cane?
Polish that.
Okay, let's.
And then there'll be an intermission where then you'll get to vote for this audience award. And then we also have the second half where there's going to be local celebrities who are going to be entertaining us as well, or entertaining all of you if you come. And they will be doing that while the judges are deliberating on who is going to take home the top prize.
Okay, now they're going to want to know once again how they can get tickets to this great show on April the 2nd.
Well, again, you can call United Neighborhood Centers. You can go online if you are able to do that. You can call any of our 4 centers that we operate and get tickets. They're $10 in advance, and if you can't do that, they're $15 the day of the event.
And I do get 10% of DeCosmo's take if he does seriously win that, because I am his agent.
You'll have to try out next year, Dave.
Yeah, well,
No way, Dave?
who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The shadow knows. The shadow knows.
And I'll just say, too, just to end that this event can't go off without a lot of volunteers that have worked on the committees, help sell tickets, run posters around.
Do the
also,
auditions.
all our sponsors. We have a great committee, and I'm very thankful of all of those that have volunteered their time, professionals, business people, things that they have other things going on in their lives, but they also have taken the opportunity to be at that.
And I want to encourage everyone to try to get there on April the 2nd at 2 p.m. to see the show. Nothing like seeing it live. If for any reason you can't, down the road you will see it here on Electric City Television. But there's nothing like seeing it live for the excitement and for the support for all of these programs that Lori's been telling us about. Thanks so
luck,
much for
Lori.
joining us today.
Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Glad to have you every year. It's a regular. Rusty, thank
Good
you,
to see
sir.
you, David.
And Mark McGlory,
Thanks,
thank you so
Mark.
much for keeping us in focus as always. I'm David DeCosmo for ECTV Live. Until we see you again next week, here's hoping all your news is good.